What up, nerds? How about this? My latest Epstein theory or related, perhaps, reason for this indeed happening. How about you start to see that there may be a systematic breakdown of the processes that are running these various centers, and perhaps a crisis or an event like this would drawing eyes upon it would have changed leadership, change in the way that they handle their business, and then those same processes can be implemented across all institutions. So that is another offshoot of this, is that it does better the systematic process of the way these institutions work. Another great reason to at least succeed off the fact that all eyes are on this MCC unit. Chris Cuomo is, oh my Lord, this. Now, okay, I'll tell you exactly what is happening, all right? And I'll tell you exactly why it's not going to work. And this is such a prime, beautiful example, okay? In order for someone to be a victim, the thing that they're a victim of cannot be witnessed. It has to happen through the version of the recollection of their side of the events. If no video existed of Chris Cuomo lighting this nerd up over Fredo and him attaching Fredo to the N-word, and I don't know, is it a slur? I've never heard of it as a slur. That doesn't mean that it may not be offensive to some people, in the same way that fucking Dago or WAP or Guinea or Mick or whatever the fuck we're calling each other. When I was a kid, it just was something you did because it didn't matter. Because who the fuck cares? So now, does he have to walk back the attaching of the N-word to Fredo? And then now here comes the montage of everybody on MSNBC, CNN, and the amount of times that they, what? Yeah, the number of times that they use the word Fredo in the capacity to malign Donald Trump and his two kids. And so now this is why the mechanism fails one side, and the same mechanism is employed by the other with grand effect. Okay? Because if no video existed, the story would be anchorman Chris Cuomo was assaulted by Trump supporter who used racial and insensitive slurs against the reporter. Now, what's the side of the story? What do they say? What did they say? They never would get into it. They wouldn't have to. Because now they have a victim with nobody witness to a crime. And so this can enter into a system where it can enter into the economy where it works. But now, because you have a video, you actually see what transpired. And now you have to then walk back the fact that if indeed you believe that this word is wrong, then you are going to have to disavow every time your network said this very word, or realize what you did was fucking moronic. At the same time, if this is as bad as your life is, the people you were calling Fredo the entire time were getting harassed. We're getting things sent to their homes. We're being threatened. We're being spit up. You want to be spit upon as you walk around alive? And so now here is the hypocrisy. And the reason it can't work is because you are witness to what cannot be called an innocent victim. And so that's why the same mechanism that was always there to be used cannot be employed, but is now being employed by the people who are quick to show you, here is a person saying that Fredo is the N-word. Here are their networks saying Fredo. Here are the people they're saying Fredo against, and here are real things that have happened to those people based on the lies that you knowingly pushed. Remember, there are people who there are people who just did solid reporting, people who had theories all over the board, and people who knowingly, through legal and illegal sources, pushed propaganda as part of a soft coup to seemingly overthrow the president. of the United States. So again, watch the bigger arcs for, well, remember in Vegas, the offshoot was bump stocks, right? And then now in Dayton, the offshoot is the 100-round drum, is the red flag law. Seemingly, there's always going to be an event. The reaction for the totality of the removal of all one kind of gun, never just no violence, just that one thing. What about slingshots? What about rocks? What about arrows? What about knives, your kitchen knives, a butter knife, your words, intentions, fucking witchcraft, voodoo, whatever these people are doing, these demon witches. No, I'm just kidding. So there it is. And so now you see ultimately what the mechanism is if they can hide the victim in something unseen, and they can craft a narrative that through the crafting of this narrative, the only logical course is to go through the cycle of the economy of what happens when you establish someone as victim. So there you go. And that's it. And the one side is going to be laying out the memes as they lay out the memes. And seemingly, it's what's more fascinating, especially because I'm friends with so many brilliant, so many hilarious people. Why is a fucking meme maker from the middle of the country one of the top 10 funniest political things going on in the country right now? That there's fucking thousands of writers, thousands of comedians, thousands of performers, and all we've come up with is a fucking orange Cheeto. That's it? That's fucking... It's almost like it was set up. And so now, looks like in the same way, you used to have 100%, and then you had 75, and then you had 50, and then you had 25, and then you had 0, and then it resets. So we're in a pendulum right now, where a different group of leaders has taken the realm of the republic, and enterprise and business seems to be going well, in as much as consumers have confidence in the growth of this country and the fact that they see improvement in leadership. And they also are going to watch the marked improvement of the news and how things are covered, because the fact that they've lost so much viewership, the fact that they've been caught up in so many provable, montageable lies, the fact that their mechanisms of control have already been exposed, means that there are very, very, very few things left other than to, well, go back to normal and be an actual journalist and be an advocate for the truth and the advocate for all, and not just a narrow-focused arrow. To wound your enemy from a perspective that gives you the same virtue signaling fucking bullshit. My friend Ebony said, why aren't we protesting in the thousands like other people are protesting in the thousands? And you're like you have to leave your house. You have to take time off of work. You have kids. You have to get a babysitter. Traffic to get there. Parking. Now you got to stand around with thousands of angry people. No public bathrooms. And you're surrounded by cameras and guns, the thing that you're all afraid of. And so if you can feel just as good by retweeting a meme, seemingly it's about the doing. So let's do the doing and the growth of making America. How about make yourself, by using the best choices available, employ your joy for the benefit of all. And as you take your positive attitude everywhere you go, you will change the world by the fact that you are leading the encounter with hope, with joy, with acceptance, for love. And you do that in a line at the grocery store, in the way that you drive, and in the way that you interact with the public. And you actually are a kind soul, treating people the way you want to be treated. Heaven forbid we all arrive on that same human page, and what we could grow and create if we were all there in a state of our country, and by our we mean all, and by all we mean equal, and by equal we mean everybody. Fair treatment, and that's what we're seeing, the exposition of growth using fair treatment to overcome a control who used scarcity and a culture of fear to stagnate growth and slow it down. God bless America.